hated it?
I hated the whole thing.
So we haven't talked about the movie. We just got home from the movie, so I've got no idea what my wife's going to say. Hey, movie watchers. Welcome to today's review of The Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I don't know why we don't just call it Hobbs and Shaw.
Right, because there was like zero Fast and Furious. Like that's my number one.
No Fast and Furious. There was some Furious.
Was there?
I don't know about Fast.
But it had nothing to do with the Fast.
Zero.
No Vin Diesel.
Definitely not any of him.
No. They're not my friends, they're my family. I mean, they tried to pull in the family thing, but
didn't work for you?
No. So like the first preview you saw, I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be amazing. And
dope.
You were like, no, that's gonna be so dumb. And then even like before the previews, I was like, it's gonna be ridiculous, but it's gonna be so awesome. And I hated everything.
You hated it?
I hated the whole thing.
So we haven't talked about the movie. We just got home from the movie, like literally about 9 minutes ago. So I've got no idea what my wife's going to say. If you watched the video, you'll remember my wife from Captain Marvel. We did a parody review. If you want to check that out, I'll put it in the card box up here. Oh, no, it's up there. There it is. Yep. Okay. No, here. In this specific, somewhere over here in this. Anyway, you guys get it. This is our second one we're doing together, and we just watched Hobbs and Shaw. I already said that. And I've got no idea what my wife's going to say. I said that too, but here we go.
All right. So I know you usually like to do a little synopsis, likes, dislikes.
Yeah, so I typically go synopsis, my likes, my dislikes, and then the breakdown. And you want to do something different?
Not necessarily, but I was just going to say that my likes is going to be like...
Well, let's start with the synopsis. Don't give away the likes yet.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You know?
All right. Synopsis. It started out... Well, I went to the bathroom.
You did go to the bathroom at the very beginning of the movie.
Sorry. Hey, 7 months pregnant. I wanted to get...
All right. So I'll give the synopsis.
Okay, you give the synopsis.
The synopsis is basically Idris Elba's character. I can't remember his name in the movie. He is some type of genetically enhanced, part human, part machine type of thing. He's kind of like a Terminator, which is why I'm wearing a shirt actually. And there's a virus. They have a virus. The group he works for, E-Man or I-Man or something like that, they have a virus that will essentially kill off the weak in the world, everywhere in the world. And the whole goal here is to kill the weak so the strong live, and they're going to force what they would consider to be evolution. And then, of course, you essentially have Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, and they have to team up together, which doesn't really work very well, sort of, and then does, sort of, and save the world. And then Deckard's sister gets thrown into the mix. She puts the virus into herself. Spoilers, if you guys did not know this was a spoiler review, I am so sorry for that. She literally puts the virus inside of herself. So she's kind of the centerpiece, and everyone's Deckard and Luke are literally trying to protect her and save her, while Idris's character is literally trying to kidnap her. And somehow everyone still has the same goal, which is to get the virus out of her, which I thought was funny and also stupid. But that's it. That's what we have here. Virus, gonna kill everyone. Luke Hobbs, Deckard Shaw get together, team up, save the world from Idris Elba. Boom. Starting with our likes. Take it away. What did you like about the movie?
And I'm done. Your turn.
But you said nothing.
Let's see.
Surely there's something you liked. One thing. You can pick anything you want to pick.
I liked the one part in Samoa where they go into the chop shop that's not a chop shop, and I thought we were finally going to get like the Fast and the Furious vibe. I liked it up until I realized we were still not getting Fast and Furious.
Yeah, so you think they should just... I agree with you.
It should. Why is this Fast and Furious?
I think it's stupid.
So dumb.
If you actually watch my trailer reaction when this first trailer dropped, I thought it was stupid. I literally mentioned in that trailer reaction that we should just take it out of... It shouldn't be a Fast and the Furious...
No.
Addition to. It literally should be its own movie, something completely separate. I think it's stupid to attach it. I'm with you on that one. But that was a dislike. Oh, I guess you said your likes.
I mean, I tried.
You tried.
I tried to find something.
Well, you were laughing some. So some of the banter you had to have liked. Some of the things I liked, it's probably the only thing in the movie that's actually any good is the banter.
To an extent.
Right.
Until they
There's a
tried to
limit
make like
to
a
it.
10-minute scene out of banter that was just, it's like, what are we? Are we like 12-year-old boys? Like,
Yeah,
this is
basically.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That was kind of stupid.
A lot of the banter is just...
A waste of time.
It's too much. Right. And it really drags, it really slows the pace of the movie down. It really slows the scenes down. Like that one scene in there where they're fighting in those tunnels. Right, they go in this door. Decker goes in this door. He goes in this door.
Man,
It's like a 12-minute scene.
The trailer makes that scene look like it's just going to be like hysterical and action-packed and really great. And I was just like, this is dumb.
Quite boring, actually.
Because they do too much of the pause and let me do something funny. And then, oh, I'm going to fight some more. And then, oh, let me pause and do something funny. And like, it's completely, it's not realistic, obviously. But then it's not even like an action-packed fight scene. It's more like, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but it was.
Yeah, not the best part of the movie.
No.
And which is funny because I think another reviewer said that it was their favorite part of the movie. I think that is a stupid opinion. Sorry. You didn't like anything else about the movie?
I really liked nothing.
What about the cameos? So my favorite part of the movie is Ryan Reynolds, actually, which I think is kind of funny.
Okay, the cafe scene. Yeah, that was
good. The cafe scene's probably the best scene in the entire movie. But I think it's just because the way Ryan, like, when you put Ryan's banter amongst their banter, he takes their banter to a whole different level. He schools them when it comes to banter. No one does on-screen banter like the way Ryan Reynolds does it. I can't obviously repeat it here, but best scene in the whole movie is Ryan Reynolds in the cafe. And then you went to the bathroom again because you're pregnant and missed the end credit scene, which if you guys missed the end credit scene, I'm sorry, because it's basically just Ryan Reynolds again, but there's a new virus and... Well, it's not worth the price of admission to go back just to watch the scene, but it is a good scene, and I wish you didn't miss it. Give it like a month or two, it'll probably be on the internet. What about Kevin Hart? He did a cameo on the airplane.
He was pretty good too. I liked him. Yeah.
He was funny. We also saw his...
A+ cameos. Let's just go with that. That was,
best part of the movie is your cameos.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you, Ryan Reynolds. Thank you, Kevin Hart, for showing up.
You know what? That would have made the rest of the movie spectacular, is if I think they would have taken Kevin Hart along with them.
I agree.
I was actually kind of hoping
really
they would, because
funny.
I was like, oh, this is about to get hysterical.
But
they didn't take him.
Yeah, because he kept saying, like, let's do a trinity, let's do a three person, and he like lowers his voice. Why are you talking like that? That would have been funny. Probably would have made the movie 10 times better. Okay, what's your number one dislike? What's the thing you hated the most, other than being let down because you were really excited about this movie?
Yeah, I know. I was. I feel really bad because I was just like, this movie, yes, it's going to be stupid, but it's going to be fantastic. And I was literally disappointed from the get-go.
I would actually, like, what is that? When we saw Idris Elba go underneath.
Oh my God. That was
the two 18-wheelers.
Okay,
I literally just looked over at you like, really?
Okay, so
really?
all right, so let me try and so this might not be one dislike; it might kind of be several rolled into one.
Perfect.
But
hate everything.
I do. Okay, so I have this thing about how almost nothing that Hollywood puts out is original anymore. It's like, let's take this part of this movie and this part of this movie and that, and let's put them into a movie. And that's what they did with this. Mm-hmm. It was, we've got this villain that's invincible,
right,
and wears all black. So we've got this villain that you can't kill.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like this sci-fi thing. And then his motorcycle just kind of like appears out of nowhere all the time. And it can like Transformers. We brought in Transform. Yep. His bike can transform and like do 90-degree angle flat stuff underneath 18-wheelers and then just pop back
while
up.
Moving 60
while
miles
he's
an
still
hour.
on it. And he can just get back on it and go. So we've got some Transformers, some Aquaman, some Matrix stuff with them going down the building.
I called this out in my trailer reaction as something that was this is so stupid. I don't know why anyone would think to put this in a movie.
And then we got some John Wick fighting scenes, except John Wick over the top fighting scenes, and these were just like.
So I don't think they were John Wick. I don't think they were that good.
Well, no, I don't mean good. I just
Right.
mean like kind of like the feel of them, like where they're going through the 2 rooms we just talked about.
Yes. Okay.
It kind of has a John Wick feel to it,
Yeah.
but John
that
Wick
feels like
is.
John Wick 2. He's actually in the catacombs in John Wick 2. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so I mean, like, but John Wick is just like boom up here, and this was just like,
boom down here.
whoa,
How
whoa.
low can I get my hand? on
Like,
the
could you
screen?
try just a little bit harder? Could you try just a little bit harder?
I also thought with some of the fight scenes they pulled in. Oh my gosh, what is it? Sherlock Holmes. Have you seen the new Sherlock Holmes movies by Guy Ritchie? Robert Downey Jr.
You live with me.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean you haven't seen them.
I haven't seen them.
I don't know.
No, honey, I haven't seen them.
So when they were at the end there, when they're like punching each other, and it's like the slow motion, and you see like the water crystals. Yeah, exactly. Like so that's some Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like they took bits and pieces from a bunch of different movies, put it together, sucked it, all of them, and then labeled Fast and Furious on it because we want it to be a blockbuster hit.
Right.
And you failed.
Yeah. I think this movie's going to tank. I don't think it's going to do very good. I think typically you attach Fast and Furious to it, everyone's going to go watch it like the first week or two.
Well, yeah.
And then it's just going to
That's why I thought it was going to be
that,
awesome because you're
sucks.
riding on the curtails of Fast and Furious.
I really hate it just because most of physics and logic are just completely thrown out. And the reason I don't like that, everyone like talks about, well, this movie was made for a certain group of people. It maybe was, but if that's the case, then you should not subscribe to that group of people, because what it says is it's okay to put out crappy movies that don't make any sense, and you can just like it because stuff blows up. I think that's extremely ignorant. I don't think that's talented filmmaking or movie making. But they attach themselves to a franchise. So the actual Fast and the Furious franchise, yes, they do some things that are
Save the world.
right. I don't really know if they save the world. People say that, but I don't remember them actually saving planet Earth for anything. The world's always ending and everything.
Right.
No, for me, like, if you look at the rest of the Fast and the Furious franchise, they do stuff that is definitely kind of cool and exaggerative as far as the racing scene is concerned. But they don't actually do things that are so far outside the realm. So, like, one of the Fast and Furious movies, they literally are driving through a different country and they have a giant safe attached to 2 cars. I don't know if you remember that scene at all. Mm-hmm. But they actually really shot that scene in real life. And it's not so extremely unbelievable like your bicycle folding into little, origami pieces to get you underneath an 18-wheeler. Or genetically enhancing a human being. They literally the next step from here is like in space. It's like Star Trek. It's like Fast and Furious, goes to space or something like that.
Right, because at the end where you've got 4 trucks that are they didn't use nitrous oxide. They used moonshine.
They just threw it in there at
They
the
used
end.
moonshine to boost all 4 trucks, which was okay. I can believe that 4 trucks are pulling a helicopter. But then at one point, after they've been pulling this helicopter for a while, there's no longer 4 trucks pulling the helicopter. And all of a sudden, the one truck is able to pull the helicopter again?
Yeah, see, so when the helicopter tries to lift up, it's got 1 car attached to it. And it can't lift up at this point. And then they go and they put another vehicle on it. And then it lifts 1.5 cars up.
Oh, but don't forget that he
crap.
magically just swung the hooks and has perfect aim.
For sure.
Perfect aim.
And then when it almost picks 2 cars up, they're like, oh, well, we'll put 3 onto it. And like, this is actually just really bad writing. This is just stupid writing, actually. It could barely pick up 1 car, so we add 2 cars. But then it can pick up 2 cars, so we have to add 3. But then it can pick, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it literally is just, there are so many scenes that are drawn out that make no sense in physics, no sense in logic or reasonability, and they're twice as long as they need to be. This movie should have been 1.5 hours long, and should have made more sense.
You know what would have made sense at just the core of this movie is a virus that makes your insides go to mush in 72 hours, but
I forgot this.
but It doesn't affect you until you hit that 72-hour mark.
Exactly.
Until you hit that 72-hour mark, you're just a badass chick who can like whoop everybody's butt and it's all good and I'm healthy and I'm game and let's do it and whatever.
Yeah.
But when that 72 hours comes up, you're mush girl.
Yeah, so I think
That was horrible.
I think they're going with the pills or whatever is inside of her. I'm not even sure what it is. They don't dissolve for 72 hours. Is I think what
Oh,
they
I
were.
must have
I think it's what
I
they're
missed
trying
that.
to go for.
I guess I missed that
I don't
part.
actually know if that's what
'Cause
they're.
I was like, she should be a slug by now. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
well, it's
understand.
pretty. Yeah, I think it's dumb, but it's also extremely stupid how their timeline of 72 hours is it's over before they get to Hawaii. Before they get to Samoa, it's the time's up. It's over with, and then they spend
Wait,
basically.
weren't they in like London?
Yes.
But then they were in Moscow. Like, how long did those flights
That's
even
my
take?
point. It's by the time you get to Samoa, right? By the time you get to Hawaii, it's over with. It's done. She's dead. And then they spend a week, at least a week, building all of these fortresses, right? All these defense mechanisms.
No, they did that in like 7 hours.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Because he had like 50 brothers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. She was just popping out kids, man.
Yeah.
Till she's like 60 or something. Just baby.
Yeah,
And
that also makes no sense because the dad went to jail. So
yeah, you're right.
how is she still popping out
make any
kids?
sense.
Dad's in prison.
Yeah. Everything about this movie's stupid. None of it makes any actual sense. So.
And he's more the cynic than I am. I mean, like,
Yeah. I'm pretty critical of stuff, which most of you guys know.
and I'm more like, okay, I can let some things go, but like this whole movie, I can't let anything about it go.
See, I mean, I typically like when a movie knows what it is, that's typically fine. And some people are saying, some people are praising this movie knows exactly what it is. That's why it's okay to watch. That's why it's enjoyable to watch. But for instance, Crawl that just came out with the alligator movie, that movie knows exactly what it is. But I'm telling you, it is nowhere near this stupid. It is nowhere near this dumb. And I actually think they hurt the franchise by making this movie.
Oh, no.
I think this movie literally is a detriment to the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm not saying the franchise is amazing and everything makes 100% sense, like, taking off, the plane in one of the movies.
Like Tokyo Drift, no longer the outcast.
Right, no longer the worst Fast and Furious franchise movie.
But we love you, Tokyo Drift. We welcome you back now.
You're good.
You're actually
You're
a Fast
in.
and Furious movie. There's cars, there's racing.
Yeah. Well, like one of the later ones, like when that lady dies, when Wonder Woman dies in the movie, they're like on the plane and they're trying to keep the plane from taking off. Like it's far-fetched, but it's not just mind-blowingly stupid. Right? You have to there's a term for it. Suspend disbelief. You have to suspend disbelief to go along with some of the parts of the Fast and Furious franchise. But you literally have to suspend all disbelief for this entire movie. The entire thing has to just be
Because it's
nothing.
not like you can even just put it in the sci-fi category and be like, okay,
Right.
okay, I just have to get in that frame of mind that I can't believe anything. Like it's no, you can't make it sci-fi. You can't make it like a Marvel movie where it's comic and superheroes and all of that. And you can't just make it, bad guy, good guy. Like you can't put it anywhere. It doesn't fit. So every time something happens, you're just like, what?
It doesn't make sense. They based it off of a franchise that is based in reality.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job for the most part at pushing the limits of what is real in the Fast and Furious franchise. And look, like, what is it, Fast 5 or 4? They literally jump off the cliff with a 58 Corvette and they that's intense. But they really did it in real life. So it's not so far-fetched to believe it. This movie, stupid. Way out there. Way dumb. Way not funny. Well, okay, funny a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little funny. Just not a good movie at all.
Maybe if you go to like a movie tavern or something and drink while you're watching it.
That's true. Yes.
You've got some options. If you really want to see it in the theater, you've got some options.
Yeah, some bourbon would be nice.
Don't go in the middle of the day sober.
Wait till your third one at least. A couple beers maybe. Wait till your fifth one. I don't know. You can't really drink right now.
Yeah, I didn't have any choices. I had to just go in there and take it. It was terrible. horrible.
Spoken like a true wife, honey. You just had to go in there and tell me.
Which is stupid because I'm the one that really wanted to see it and was excited about it. And the whole time
she would not let me watch this movie without her.
I know. And the whole time I was sitting there going, oh, God. I gotta hear about this.
How would you rate it? Give me, we got to do a breakdown. Give me a score. How would you rate the writing of the movie? 1 through 10.
So writing is, okay, y'all forgive me. Don't think I'm stupid. Writing is the actual script.
Yeah, so writing can be anything as far as screenplay is actually concerned. So the writing is like how the story progresses, what actually happens in the movie, what things people say, anything in under the umbrella of writing, how the story pans out.
Let me just throw a 6 out there.
That's way too high. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 for writing. I think the writing's pretty bad. The movie progresses fine, but it's actually a really boring plot, which is why they have all these stupid explosions and all these stupid. They literally actually create problems by doing what they're doing, and I don't think the plot moves very far. And I think it's just stupid.
It took so far. Like I thought Samoa was just gonna be like the best part of the whole movie. I was so looking forward to Samoa, and I was so looking forward to the fight scene where all the brothers just like whoop butt. And that scene lasted like 30 seconds. It was longer than that. But still, I mean, like I expected this whooping butt scene, and it was just like 1 minute it's dark and there's fire and it's like, whoa. And then the next minute, like the sun's coming up and
It's so stupid. And then it's dark 10 minutes later again.
Right, because the storm comes.
They literally fought for an entire day.
But I mean, was it an entire day? You know, like she only had 72 hours to live here, so.
Yeah, that's like yeah. So that's actually going to fall under directing. That's bad directing.
Sorry, can we just move on to directing then?
So yes, writing. I'm giving a 4 out of 10. She's giving it a 6 out of 10. This one's a loon over here. Acting. How do you think the acting was? Now, acting covers their delivery, whether or not you believed them in their role, how well they played their role. Did you see any moments or notice where the acting was bad, where you didn't believe them?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with a 7.
That's fair.
Because I think it was full of really great actors. The only parts that I felt like they were forced was any of the like heartfelt moments, and like The Rock can do heartfelt moments. He can.
He is. He's got a lot of charisma.
Right, but I just felt like, you know, like, was this your 100th take of the scene and you just couldn't pull anything out anymore for this scene? So, I mean, I did think that the acting was good. So, you know, there was good chemistry, all of that good stuff. But there were just some of those heartfelt scenes I was just like, there ain't no heart in this. Like,
I'm going to give the acting a 5.5.
oh, I thought you said a 7 was fair.
Well, I understand why. I mean, many people can give it whatever they want, but I understand why they would give it that. I'm just more critical. I'm more of a critic, and bad acting to me stands out like a sore thumb. So, for instance, the scene on the airplane, hated it. Until Kevin Hart shows up in that scene is terrible.
Because it was banter.
Right. Jason Statham is actually not as good at it as The Rock is, and I didn't believe Statham very well. To me, it felt forced, and I totally know what you're talking about when you say the 100th take. It felt like they had done this take so many times that the delivery just wasn't there for me. And then the same thing when Idris Elba's character has them tied up and he's electrocuting them. And they're pretending to be electrocuted, and they're like, I'm about to pass out or something. Like, to me, the whole scene was bad. Even Idris Elba's acting was bad, you know? I mean, I hated both of those scenes completely. And, like, seriously, Ryan Reynolds steals the movie.
He kind of does.
Him and Kevin Hart actually have the best acting in the movie. Now, I do think the girl, Deckard Shaw's sister, actually, she's probably the best. She probably performed the best in the movie. I do think Dwayne Johnson or The Rock is the best actor career-wise as far as being good at his job. But I think in the movie, she does the best.
Yeah.
I didn't have any issues believing anything that she did. Even the action scenes, they look really good. So you gave it a 7. I gave it a 5.5. Cinematography. So cinematography covers essentially all camera work. How did things look? How do they feel? Do they look real? Did they feel real? Did they choose artistic styles and scenes to represent something? Like, for instance, the way he goes underneath the 18-wheeler with his motorcycle, and they break the car down, and you know what I mean? Like, camera angles and stuff like that. So I'll go first. I'll let you answer.
Well, no, I mean, I've got an answer. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I just feel
Hit
kind
me.
of bad about giving it a 4.
Okay. Wow.
Nothing was believable.
Guy Ritchie.
Like, he just has like this style that's super creative, and he does, like something will be, whip around, and then all of a sudden it's slow-mo and it's super cool and whatever. There was nothing spectacular about this. Like, when they're in Samoa and the two guys are like talking and they're having a bro moment, but we're not actually getting to hear what they're saying. So they're like doing these, I don't know what they're called, but they're overhead and they're just like kind of whipping this way, and then they come in and they whip this way, and I'm like, what's the point of this? I just felt like, and then Samoa's all like the scenery and everything, and the thing where that scene was kind of cool where he did go on the bike under the truck. That was kind of cool, but even them rappelling down the building, and
I thought that looked terrible.
It lacked anything cool. I was bored with it.
Yeah.
So bored with it.
So I'm gonna give them a 5.5. I really want to give them less.
It's okay. I gave them a 4.
Yeah.
I bring you down. It's okay.
Good. But I don't like. So they used a lot of real explosions. I do appreciate when they do that, because that takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and you don't get very many takes of that because of how expensive it actually is to blow stuff up. So you got to get your scenes right to do that, and that part's good. But yeah, so like when they're falling down the side of the building, they're falling for like 9 minutes. Okay, I've been skydiving. You don't fall for 9 minutes.
Yeah, like Shaw's in the elevator keeping up with them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all ridiculous as far as belief is concerned, but it looks terrible in the sense that, as far as, so the whole point of cinematography from my perspective is it's supposed to make you feel like you're in the movie. It's supposed to make you feel like you're one of the characters, like you're with the characters, like you're going through what they're going through. And this movie doesn't feel like that. Mm-hmm. This movie feels like you're watching it from a safe place somewhere else. And all this stuff that's blowing up and going on, and you have this roller coaster effect where nothing becomes important anymore, because everything is like life or death. So you don't build to a grand moment, right? Yeah. I'm actually bleeding into directing here, which is bad. But did I give it a 5.5? I'm gonna change it. You get a 5. Cinematography is terrible.
Boom, average of 4.5.
Boom. And then directing. Directing, essentially, everything can kind of be wrapped up as the director, as everything is his responsibility. He oversees all of it. Okay. Well, he made a movie, so it's kind of hard to give him a 0. He was there.
Apparently, enough to make a movie, so.
He showed up, apparently.
Who was the director?
I don't know.
Because I made him do this the moment we walked through the house.
Right. I would have known had I,
Sorry.
But I don't remember.
Well, it's not like I would know who it is anyway. It wouldn't really matter.
It's not a good person. He might have done some other good stuff.
I mean, you may have a good character as a person, but...
That's what I mean. Sorry if you got your feelings hurt there.
Sorry. I don't know. I felt like 3.
That's a good... I'm going to give it a 3, too.
I hated this movie. I was so disappointed. I'm being emotional with my score for the director. You get a 3, man.
I'm going to give it a 3 also. I think the directing is terrible. I don't know. I feel like this was like a breakout movie for a director. I'm probably going to have to eat crow after this, because I've got no idea who the director is. And he's probably someone good that I didn't realize. And he's trying to make a certain kind of movie. But things make sense within the vacuum of the movie. But that's it. And so I guess you get some points for that.
But your vacuum sucks.
But yeah, it's a bad vacuum. It's a vacuum that doesn't make sense. And you do, you have issues with time, right? Like the fact that she survives like a week or 2 when she should have been dead in 72 hours. And there was no hustle. Like everyone knew she had 72 hours to live. And literally the first time they stopped to do something, they had already used 11 hours. right? She actually says it. It's been 11 hours already, or 30 hours. I'm sorry. She says 30 hours.
Dang, she's
they
almost
only
halfway
have
through.
halfway through it.
Yeah.
And this is before they leave Moscow, I think. Before they even leave Moscow. Anyway, like that is actually a really important piece to the plot. She only has 72 hours to live. Get your stuff together, get it figured out, save her life. Like that is actually what drives the plot forward, but it doesn't in this movie.
Yeah,
It's
there
like
wasn't
you've got
any
72
urgency.
hours to live.
Like
Cool.
she's on the plane with like her eye thing on, and she's like,
I know, right?
Like everybody on the plane sleeping, and I'm just like, girl, you're about to die.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, this is bad directing. Same thing with the end. Whenever everything starts in Samoa, it's nighttime. Okay? And the whole purpose for this is the cinematography. They wanted the fire and the flames to look the way they wanted to look. But within 5 minutes of the fight breaking out, it's daylight. They're fighting in the middle of the day. And then by the time, you know, all of the trucks crash and the helicopter crashes, we're back to night again.
Well, the storm came. Remember,
That's
everything was
right.
like centering around this storm coming, which there really wasn't a storm. It was like black clouds in the distance, and then all of a sudden, the helicopter crashes, and now it's raining. So now they're fighting in the rain.
Yay, cinematography! No points for directing because you don't make any sense. Yeah, you get a 3 from both of us. That sucks. Don't know who you are, Mr. Director, but
Sorry.
don't make any more movies like this. Pretty please.
He's probably like won a million Academy Awards, and you know.
Yeah, I know. It's probably like Spielberg or something. Thank you guys for watching. We've got more reviews and discussions coming your way, so check back soon for those. And I will see you next time. We'll figure out another time for her to see you.